On October 19, 2025, as the morning fog clung to the streets of Jacksonville, Florida, like a lingering bass note refusing to fade, the nu metal world shattered with the news that had fans reeling and hearts breaking. Sam Rivers, the stoic bassist and founding heartbeat of Limp Bizkit, had passed away at the shockingly young age of 48. His life cut short by a sudden cardiac arrest that struck without mercy in the quiet hours of the night before. Just yesterday, as the band wrapped a soundcheck for their long-awaited reunion tour, whispers of Sam's quiet strength had filled the air, only for the unimaginable to unfold. Paramedics rushing him from his hotel room, his brothers in arms, Fred Durst, Wes Borland, John Otto, and DJ Lethal, gathered in a hospital hallway, their unbreakable bond fracturing under the weight of loss. Born Samuel Robert Rivers on September 2, 1977, in the humid embrace of Jacksonville, where the St. John's River murmured secrets of resilience, Sam wasn't just a musician. He was the groove that held chaos together, his fingers coaxing thunder from 4 strings in a way that made anthems like Break Stuff and Nookie feel like primal screams from the soul. Today, as tributes cascade from fellow rockers like Korn's Jonathan Davis, who called him the unsung anchor of our era, to everyday fans etching his initials on bass guitars and Vigil, we dive deep into the raw, rhythmic pulse of Sam's life. His cause of death, the family that fueled his fire, his age a heartbreaking reminder of dreams deferred, the net worth earned from mosh pit magic, the grounded lifestyle of a man who lived for the riff over the roar, and the biography of a quiet warrior, whose low-end legacy reminds us to hold our loved ones tighter, because the music can stop in an instant. This isn't a detached discography. It's an emotional jam session for Sam, a bassist whose steady hand steadied us all, urging us to crank up the volume on the love we too often keep on mute. From the sun-baked sidewalks of Jacksonville, where the scent of salt air mixed with the distant hum of garage bands, Sam's world was built on the unbreakable bedrock of a family that turned everyday struggles into symphonies of support, their love the low hum beneath every groove he ever laid down. His father, a stoic Navy veteran whose calloused hands spoke of hard-won discipline, was the silent architect of Sam's grit, working double shifts at the shipyards to keep the lights on, yet always carving out time for backyard barbecues where he'd nod approvingly at his son's first fumbling chords on a borrowed bass. His quiet pride a compass through the tempests of teenage rebellion. Then there was his mother, the heart of the home, a schoolteacher whose laughter filled their modest ranch-style house like a warm distortion pedal. Her evenings spent humming Motown classics while grading papers, instilling in Sam a reverence for music as the glue that mends frayed edges. She was the one who drove him to those early jazz drum sessions with John Otto, her station wagon a rolling classroom of encouragement, whispering, "Play from here," with a hand on his chest, teaching him that true rhythm beats in the soul, not just the strings. As the middle child in a brood of 3, Sam grew up sandwiched between an older sister who shared his sharp wit, trading mixtapes of Prince and Parliament under the covers during power outages, and a younger brother whose endless energy pushed Sam to protect and perform, their sibling squabbles dissolving into late-night air guitar battles that echoed through the neighborhood. Family life was a beautiful mess. Holidays crammed with turkey and tales from Dad's sea stories, summers at the beach where Sam's lanky frame splashed in the waves, his laughter a rare burst that lit up the shore. This tight-knit tribe held him through the highs and hells. When Limp Bizkit exploded in the late 90s, it was Mom's care packages of homemade cookies arriving on tour buses, a taste of home amid the haze of sold-out arenas. Sam's own family chapter unfolded in quiet devotion. In his early 20s, he met Lindsay, the tattooed bassist of mindless self-indulgence, their worlds colliding in a whirlwind of shared stages and secret smiles, marrying in a low-key ceremony in 2002 that felt more like a backstage hang than a spectacle. Lindsay became his rock-solid partner, her fierce independence mirroring his own, their home in Los Angeles a sanctuary of vinyl stacks and half-written riffs, where they'd collaborate on side projects, her electric energy balancing his steady calm. Though they kept parenthood private, no public announcements of children, just subtle Instagram glimpses of family hikes or holiday lights. Sam's devotion shone in the way he'd slip away from interviews to call home, his voice softening from gravelly growl to gentle murmur. grandparents from both sides added layers of legacy. His paternal grandma, a church pianist whose gospel runs influenced his earliest bass lines, and Lindsay's eclectic kin, blending punk ethos with southern warmth in cross-country visits. Even as fame's family pulled back. Annual Jacksonville reunions where dad fired up the grill, mom led sing-alongs to old Limp hits, and siblings roasted Sam's serious face on stage. Through lineup dramas and personal demons, the Rivers clan was his encore. Now, with Lindsay's tribute post a tear-streaked photo of their wedding rings side by side, and siblings vowing to keep the groove alive. Their grief ripples like a feedback loop, a poignant reminder that family isn't the spotlight. It's the steady pulse that keeps the song going when the amps go silent. Sam Rivers's Biography thumps like a flawless bass drop. A Jacksonville kid's ascent from middle school tuba toes to the thunderous core of nu metal's defining force. His life a low-end legend etched in platinum plaques and mosh pit memories. Born Samuel Robert Rivers on that sweltering September day in 1977, amid the funky undercurrents of Florida's music scene, Sam was a natural-born groover, his ear tuned early by John Otto's jazz drums in Arlington Middle School Band, where the tuba's deep rumble first hooked him on rhythm's raw power. By high school at Stanton College Preparatory, he traded brass for bass, self-taught on a pawn-shop vendor, jamming in garages with Otto and Wes Borland. Their sound a gritty gumbo of hip-hop beats, metal riffs, and rap's raw edge. Fate's riff struck in 1994. Fred Durst, a tattoo artist moonlighting as a hype man, caught their set at a local skate park, recruiting Sam as the anchor for what became Limp Bizkit, named after Durst's rejected dog moniker, a nod to life's absurd punches. Their 1997 debut $3 bill, y'all simmered underground, but 1998's significant other erupted like a powder keg, Nookie and Break Stuff topping charts, selling 16 million worldwide. Sam's pulsating lines the spine holding Durst's fury. The Ozfest 99 takeover cemented them. Woodstock 99's infamous riot saw Sam's calm amid chaos, his bass cutting through the flames like a lifeline. The 2000s peaked with Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog-flavored water. 1 million sold in its first week. Rollin', a staple that grossed $100 million in tours alone. Sam's style evolved, from Ibanez signatures to Warwick customs with LED frets. His tone a blend of slap pop funk and down-tuned drive, influencing bassists like Fieldy from Korn. Solo whispers emerged. Side gigs producing for indie acts, a 2010s EP under the moniker Rivers Underground, teasing jazz metal fusions. Reunions fueled fire. The 2021 Lollapalooza set a triumphant return. Sam's grin on stage a quiet victory after hiatuses for health and family. Through scandals, Durst's antics, Borland's exits, Sam stayed the steady force. His 2019 Gibson Awards nod for Best Bass Player a humble crown. At 48, his arc was a bassline unfinished, decades-defining nu metal, yet always the guy who'd rather jam in a basement than boast, reminding us that true legends thump low, felt more than flaunted. Away from the roar of arenas and the flash of pyros, Sam's lifestyle was a masterclass in balanced bass. A deliberate groove between the road's relentless rhythm and the recharge of roots, where Jacksonville's salt air met LA's sprawl in a life that prized connection over chaos. Envision him post-gig in the early 2000s. Tour bus bunk a nest of crumpled set lists and half-eaten subs. Sam's 6 feet 1 inch frame curled with a book on jazz theory, earbuds piping Coltrane to unwind the adrenaline. He lived the rock life without the wreckage. No tales of trashed hotels, just disciplined downtime. Mornings in hotel gyms pounding the treadmill to keep his wiry build tour ready. Afternoons sketching bass tabs on napkins during sound checks, his Ibanez slung low like an old friend. Home was his holy grail. The LA bungalow he shared with Lindsay, a cozy compound of mid-century furniture and wall-to-wall records, where evenings blurred into jam sessions, her on keys, him on bass, crafting unplugged covers of Bad Brains or Parliament that dissolved into laughter over vegan tacos. A nod to his plant-based pivot in the 2010s for health's sake. Travel was tonic. Off-season escapes to Jacksonville beaches, where he'd surf the swells with Otto, salt spray washing away the tour grime, or quiet drives up the California coast, windows down, blasting early Bizkit demos with the family dog riding shotgun. Sam's style was understated cool. Faded tees from '99 tours tucked into cargo shorts. His long hair tied back. A silver chain from mom glinting under stage lights. No bling but the quiet confidence of a man who'd earned his scars. Health became his headline after a 2015 scare. A minor heart flutter from years of road wear, prompting yoga flows and meditation apps. His Instagram glimpses of sunrise hikes a subtle sermon on balance. Romantically, Lindsay was his harmony. Their 2002 vows a punk jazz fusion of tattoos and tenderness, date nights at hole-in-the-wall noodle spots where they'd people watch and plot side projects. Philanthropy pulsed low-key, donating gear to Jacksonville youth centers, mentoring kids in after-school bands, his 2020 virtual masterclass series a gift during lockdown blues. Evenings unwound simply, barbecues with the band, ribs sizzling as Durst spun conspiracy yarns, or solo nights lost in the wire marathons, bass in lap, idly plucking themes. Sam's world was intentional intimacy. Family game nights where his niece's wild Uno bids drew his rare belly laugh, drives with his brother blasting old cassettes, or stargazing with Lindsay, pondering the riffs yet to drop. It was a life of grounded grooves, where the bassist who held the band together held his own heart sacred, teaching us that true tempo thrives in the pauses between the power chords. Financially, Sam's ledger hummed with hard-earned harmony, his net worth settling at around $5 million at the time of his passing. A solid score for a nu metal mainstay whose low-end lines underpinned billions in band bucks, yet a fortune funneled into family and future rather than flash. Limp Bizkit's vault overflowed. Significant Other's 16 million sales and Chocolate Starfish's 1 million first-week frenzy, netting him royalties that flowed like a steady backbeat. The 1999 to 2001 tours alone grossing $100 million. His cut a cool $10 million slice. Endorsements amplified. Ibanez and Warwick signatures. Fender Jazz basses since 2019. Each deal a six-figure strum, while production gigs for indie acts added modest merch streams. Solo ventures spiced the pot. His Rivers Underground EP in 2015 charting modestly. Nashville studio investments yielding passive income from up-and-comers sessions. No excess marked his means. Money built the LA home with its sun-drenched studio, funded Lindsay's art pursuits and family trusts for the next generation, generous drops to Jacksonville music programs where he'd started. At 48, that $5 million wasn't a trophy but a testament, proof that wealth's real worth echoes in the lives it lifts, the legacies it leaves humming long after the final fade. And in this gut-wrenching dawn on October 19, 2025, the ultimate drop lands. Sam's cause of death, a sudden cardiac arrest that gripped him in the still hours of October 18th, his body giving out after years of touring's toll and a quiet battle with hypertension he'd kept from the headlines. Paramedics unable to revive him despite the band's frantic rush to his side. Whispers from insiders paint a devoted dad rapping a late-night call with Lindsay, his laugh the last note before the silence struck. Rush to a Jacksonville R, monitors flatlining as Durst clutched his hand. The bandmates sobs the soundtrack to an ending no encore could rewrite. At 48, on the brink of a tour that promised to reignite the fire, Sam's exit rips like a string snapped mid-solo. Lethal's plea for privacy, a raw shield around the family's shattering world. Fans worldwide dimming amps in tribute. This isn't finale. It's a bridge too soon burned. A call to check on our anchors, to groove through the grief with the volume up. Sam Rivers' life was a thunderous thump. From Jacksonville garages to global stages. Family his flawless foundation. Lifestyle his balanced beat. Net worth his quiet crescendo. At 48, cardiac arrest's cruel cut scribes an elegy unfinished, beckoning us to riff louder, hold our rhythm section close. Lindsay, his siblings, the Bizkit Brotherhood. They carry his groove now, their sorrow our shared set, summoning us to play on in his name. Sam's bass booms eternal in every nookie needle drop, a legacy launching Mosher skyward. If Sam's steady story has struck a chord in your soul today, as it has mine, please subscribe for more bass lines through lives that bang hard, and hit that like to send his low-end love farther. It's the harmony he hummed for. Thanks for jamming this journey with me. Grab your loved ones, drop a riff, and let the music never miss a beat.